quick questions. One is the CMS has raised its improper payment rate target from FY 2015 to 6.7% from the 5.6 target rate in 2014. Is that a good internal control practice to raise the target rate?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
No, I do appreciate the question. And again, I think it's important to set realistic targets and goals that do push us to improvement, but at the same time recognize that Medicaid is a state and federal program, that states are in various places of implementing things like the provider enrollment standards, which are the major driver of the improper payment rate at this point.
Okay. Let me get to the question I had from West Virginia. And it's more of a question, I think, of perhaps abuse and errors. Let me frame the argument. In West Virginia, 1/3 of the hospitals we have in West Virginia are critical access hospitals. We're a very rural state. And for nearly 30 years, since the early 80s, West Virginia's critical access hospitals have been using a provider tax to supplement and provide resources for them. In 2012, CMS hired a different auditor from all these past 30 years. And this new auditor stepped in and said, that process isn't approved anymore. And we're going to go back and we're auditing you back until 2009, and we're trying to recover the money that you previously were working under the idea that this was the appropriate way to go about getting a provider tax revenue coming in. This is going to be an incredible hindrance for these hospitals to provide medical care in rural areas of West Virginia when we go backwards on them after they were working under the idea that they thought they were working properly. So we've talked about, can we go forward from here, not go back and try to penalize them for following someone else's advice that was also with CMS. Now we go forward. We've written letters, we've had conversations with it. Until recently, the CMS really was disengaged with us. Now, these hospitals are all getting invoices. 3 years after the 2012, when they were told we're not going to allow that anymore, now in 2015, they're getting invoices that they say they have to pay them within 15 days or they're going to have their funds withheld. First, I don't know of any private sector coming from the private sector. I've got 50 years in the private sector. I've never heard of someone saying, if you don't pay within 15 days, we're taking it out of your hide. How they're going that just doesn't work. There's no details on the report on these invoices. And when they've asked, can we get a detail of what this invoice includes? And they're saying that they can't have it. They're being denied access as to what the invoice reflects. So I hope you understand this kind of smacks of bullying on the part of the CMS to rural hospitals, especially given the fact that they were told to use this. This was okay, and now a new auditor has a different opinion. So do you think CMS is handling this crisis in West Virginia and probably in other rural areas of this country? Do you think CMS is handling this sensitively and appropriately?
Congressman, I appreciate the question. I can tell you that CMS has definitely been focused on critical access hospitals and rural hospitals in the various policies we promulgate, including payments and other policies. I will tell you, I'm not aware of the specifics of this particular situation. I understand some of the details now from what you've explained. However, I think I'd have to connect you to the other folks in the agency that are directly working on this issue, but I'd be happy to take it back.
If you would, please. We've been given a runaround. Everyone, the fingers, I've never seen so many fingers pointing in different directions. It's not my problem. It's someone else. And we've been trying to pursue that. So if you can help us on that, we'll put you on record. Okay, you're under oath that you said you were going to help. So
thank you, Congressman. I appreciate that. I
will remind you of that in the future. But thank you, because we need to get this resolved. Remember, 1/3 of the hospitals could very well go under if they have to make these payments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yield back.
Gentleman yields back.